The Guyana government getting legal advice on how to proceed after losing last week's no-confidence vote. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Thursday, December 27th. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Dawn Paris. Good evening. The Guyana government was Thursday expected to be presented with all its legal options as it prepares to respond to a successful vote of no confidence that toppled it from power last Friday. The David Granger administration appointed a subcommittee to advise it on the matter after a meeting on Monday at which members of the cabinet and the National Security Committee examined all the legal and constitutional aspects of the vote. The subcommittee was scheduled to report to Cabinet on Thursday with recommendations on the way forward. Last Friday, opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo tabled the motion of no confidence in the government after accusing it of being incompetent and corrupt. The coalition government had a one-seat majority in the 65-seat National Assembly, but the motion received the backing of government backbencher Chandas Prasad, securing the 33 votes required for it to pass. General elections now have to be held within 90 days. Meantime, the opposition leader has warned the government not to do anything outside the routine functioning of the state as he announced plans for an early meeting with President Granger next year. He also urged public servants not to be pressured to do anything illegal. Jagdeo said he has agreed to meet with Granger after the president returns from Cuba, where he's continuing chemotherapy for cancer. He left Guyana on Christmas Day and returns next month. Trinidad and Tobago's Police Commissioner Gary Griffith is sticking by his position on the use of force against armed criminals. He's adamant he will continue with his one-shot, one-kill policy and will not be changing his stance on how police officers respond to danger on the job. CNC3's Melissa Williams-Sambrano reports.
Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith is urging police officers to ignore those who are trying to tell them how to do their jobs. On the Boxing Day holiday, the commissioner issued a statement regarding the use of force policy, one shot, one kill, reinforcing it. In recent times, there have been both criticism and praise for the policy. But Commissioner Griffith says he is not changing his stance and there is nothing that his critics can do to alter it. He adds his officers have his full support to fire back at anyone who aims a firearm or shoots at them, and he is saying when officers fire back, it is not to injure. In his statement, the commissioner is questioning the agenda of those who are vocal with their opposition of the one-shot, one-kill policy. He says those persons need to stop wasting time in propagating sensational headlines. Commissioner Griffith adds, even if one person says he is wrong, the fact is that over 90% of polls among citizens, including those in authority, suggest otherwise. The top cop goes on to say comments which he deems foolish can do nothing other than to cause police officers to have that 1 second of hesitation which can cost them their lives. The commissioner says he hopes this is not the intention of critics, and he is urging all officers to continue to do their jobs and ignore the noise.
The Dominica government says it intends to start construction of a geothermal energy power plant next year. Energy Minister Ian Douglas said the plant to be constructed in the Roseau Valley on the outskirts of the capital will be a major boost for the island that is attempting to become the world's first climate-resilient country. Speaking on the state-owned DBS radio on a Wednesday, Douglas said that with the commissioning of the plant, the government will be in a position to benefit clean, reliable, low-cost, renewable, and high-quality energy supply in the future, which will benefit all sectors of productive activity in Dominica. Earlier this year, the World Bank announced that it would be providing more than $17 million towards the development of the geothermal plant. Coming up in Caribbean Newsline, an investigation underway following the deaths of several babies at a children's hospital in Jamaica. We'll be right back with the details.
experience exceptional fun, meet amazing people, enjoy fantastic food, and rock the nights away to world-class music at the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 3 nights of musical entertainment from the 27th to the 29th of June 2019. Book now and save the date. For more information, log on to stkittsmusicfestival.net. St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
We continue in Jamaica, where the Bustamante Hospital for Children has launched an investigation after 4 babies died in almost as many days. Dengue hemorrhagic fever is believed to be responsible for the deaths. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton confirmed the deaths and said the hospital is challenged, at least 20 children have been admitted to the pediatric ward with dengue. TVJ's Shamala Pullen reports.
The health minister has reported over 500 suspected cases of the dengue virus so far this year, with some of the cases confirmed to be dengue. This is more than the 200 cases seen last year. However, over the past few days, the Bustamante Hospital for Children in St. Andrew has been busier than usual, treating persons showing up with symptoms of dengue fever. But the situation has gotten serious after suspicions that a few children have died from dengue-related complications. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton made the confirmation Tuesday.
I am told that as of today, there are some 20 cases, suspected cases, that are being treated on the hospital, that we have had a few deaths over the past 3 or 4 days. I think there are 4 deaths of suspected cases. So those tests have now samples have to be sent to the lab to confirm.
Dr. Tufton says the hospital has been seeing an increase in the number of children with dengue hemorrhagic fever, which causes internal bleeding. However, the health minister says part of the challenge is that parents are not treating their children properly at home.
Sure.
Dr. Tufton says he has made checks at other hospitals island-wide, and so far, only St. Anne's Bay has 4 cases of dengue among the pediatric age group.
Every case is concerning, and as the cases increase, then clearly we have to be more vigilant.
Meanwhile, the opposition People's National Party is accusing the Ministry of Health of waiting too long to address dengue cases, despite a warning by the Caribbean Public Health Agency. The Medical Doctors Association is also raising concern about the number of cases, saying the debate on whether it is an outbreak or not is not important. More in this report from TVJ News.
More than 500 suspected cases of the dengue virus so far this year, with some being confirmed. The number has surpassed the over 200 cases seen last year. For opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Dayton Campbell, the health ministry should have been better prepared to manage the increase this year, as he says they were warned. He pointed to a report earlier this year from the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA,
that the region was to brace for a dengue outbreak in 2018. So they should not have caught the ministry in this position where they are now reactive to the problem. And I keep on talking about it, and nobody in the ministry was paying serious attention. They kept on just doing a briefing and trying to say that we don't have this amount of cases, we're not at an outbreak level. And I didn't see what was the reason for going down that road, because we went down that road with chicken gun. Yeah?
Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton has repeatedly indicated that despite the increase in numbers, it has not reached the threshold to be medically classified as an outbreak. However, with 4 babies dying at the Bustamante Hospital in the past few days in suspected dengue cases, and at least 20 children now admitted on the pediatric ward with dengue, President of the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, Dr. Elon Thompson, says there is cause for concern.
The numbers of cases may not meet the criteria for an outbreak, so it may be not the word to use from an epidemiological standpoint, but the numbers are increasing, and we cannot deny that. And the population has a right to be afraid, because nobody wants to get any diseases. It affects the productivity of the population.
Ahead in Newsline Sport, 4 West Indies players to join Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in the regional 4-day championship. Stay with us.
Barbados. Renowned for its pristine beachfront and fantastic weather, continues to leave quite an impression on newcomers to the island and returning visitors. The Caribbean island, quite popular as a vacation hotspot, is not only beautiful due to its natural aesthetics. The island of Barbados continues to grow in popularity because of unique connections developed with our people, our culture. We can't wait to welcome you.
Trinidad and Tobago Red Force will be boosted for their third round match in the Regional 4-Day Championship next week by the return of 4 West Indies players. Batsman Darren Bravo, wicketkeeper Dinesh Ramdin, fast bowler Shannon Gabriel and left-arm spinner Kerry Pierre are all available for the clash with Leeward Islands Hurricanes starting January 4th at the Brian Lara Stadium. Bravo, Ramdin and Pierre were part of the West Indies squad which won the T20 series in Bangladesh last weekend. Gabriel, meanwhile, featured in the Test series whitewash to Bangladesh last month, playing the first Test before being suspended for the second. Red Force lost their opening match of the first-class championship, going down by 76 runs to Windward Islands Volcanoes in the second round. They will resume training on Friday following the Christmas holiday break. Meanwhile, Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board President Azim Basaraf is confident the Red Force can win this year's regional 4-day competition despite their dismal start this season. TV6's Vinod Narwani has more.
Trinidad and Tobago in the 2018-2019 4-day first-class season, TTCB President Azim Basaraf believes Team Red Force can bounce back next year. TNT lost their opener to the Windward Islands in Taruba by 76 runs, but Basaraf says the players have to put that behind them and look ahead.
Of course, the boys went, they had a lot of training sessions. You would have heard that the captain of the team said that it was the best set of training and preparation for any tournament that they would have engaged in. And we are hoping, of course, that the trend will turn around. They are putting in a lot of work. They will be training over this weekend, and I'm hoping that, come 2019, we are going to see a much better results than what we had in 2018.
The top man at the TTCB says the team cannot be underestimated. While many have criticized TNT for finishing at the bottom of the table the previous season, Basaraf thinks they can lift the crown this time around.
This is a team, a young, budding team that we have been grooming for about 2 years now. And definitely I think that they have the potential to go all the way. I think if things work out, they work on their feelings. There are certain areas that they must continue to work on. And I think if they work in those areas, they are going to get the results that they want to get.
Basaraf says the key players have to give it their all with the hope that others can also learn from them to take TNT home.
Now with Imran Khan, we have Tion Webster, we have Amir Jangu, Jason Mohammed.
The TTCB president says pacers Shannon Gabriel and Daniel Sinclair and spinner Kerry Pierre also have what it takes to help Team Red Force make things difficult for the opposition.
Staying in the Twin Island Republic, a National League football boss wants to see the backs of the executive members of the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association, including head coach Dennis Lawrence, following the national team's poor performance this year. We get more in this report.
The Trinidad and Tobago Super League Keith Lecloy is disenchanted with the way football is handled in this country. The senior team had many poor performances in 2018, while some of the others below them weren't successful as well. As such, Lecloy wants the TTFA administration, led by President David John Williams, to be changed.
I think that our football has declined over the last years. And what I would really like to see, as I said, forward to begin, is momentum forward, and we need new leadership. That's what I would like to see in 2019.
He alleges many on the TTFA board are clueless when it comes to running football in this country, hence the reason for the poor showing on the world stage.
I'm talking about the elected leadership of the TTFA, and I'm talking also about even members of the board and members of the general meeting of the TTFA. We have a lot of people in there who don't have a clue about how to run football and who don't care about good governance in football, and they just occupy a space. We need to have all of them replaced for us to have momentum and progress.
Looking at Dennis Lawrence's performance.
That's the sport. We'll be right back.
experience exceptional fun, meet amazing people, enjoy fantastic food, and rock the nights away to world-class music at the 23rd Annual St. Kitts Music Festival. 3 nights of musical entertainment from the 27th to the 29th of June 2019. Book now and save the date. For more information, log on to stkittsmusicfestival.net. St. Kitts Music Festival, an experience like no other.
Again, the major developments of this day, the Ghana government getting legal advice on how to proceed after losing last week's no-confidence vote. And in sport, 4 West Indies players to join Trinidad and Tobago Red Force in the regional 4-day championship. That's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sports round the clock, subscribe to canonnews.com. And for more of our programming, log on to caribvision.tv and check out our YouTube channel. We'll be back here again tomorrow, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and have yourselves a good night.